Welcome to Daily Magic, a cozy, growth-minded, sparkly corner of the world. Join me, Shaina Wexler, as we revel in and rediscover the abundant magic that fills our daily lives. So brew up some tea in your favorite mug, settle into your comfiest chair, and breathe deep as we create Daily Magic. Hello, my beautiful friend. Welcome. I am so happy to have you here for our 20th episode. Can you believe it? We have already made it to episode 20. And what fun it's been. I hope that you have had as much fun as I have. And I would love to just take a moment to really just check in with each other and ourselves before we dive into today's episode. So how are you doing? You know that I'm hoping that you are answering these questions out loud, no matter where you are right now, right? Like you understand that that's part of that's my hope. That's my imagination. That's my daydream, is that wherever you are listening to this, that you are answering me out loud, that you are doing the breathwork with me in public and your movements and stuff. Like, this is what I'm imagining. So please make sure that that is exactly what's occurring. But even if for some reason you are choosing not to answer me out loud while you're in the grocery store or on the metro or the subway, I'd love for you to really take a moment to check in with yourself about what the answers of these questions may be. Really take that moment to ask yourself and answer yourself. So let's try that one again, shall we? How are you doing? How are you really doing right now? Next question, how are you feeling? What feelings are present or passing through you in this moment? As we identify the feeling or mingling of feelings that's at the forefront right now, let's take a nice big breath from deep in our diaphragm. Big, deep, slow, full inhale. And now let it go fully. Really let all of your air go on your exhalation, okay? Let's do one more of those. And as we do, let's allow whatever feelings are present to move through us with ease, all right? Here we go. Large, deep inhale, filling up all the way. Hold for just a moment at the top of this breath. Good. And now push out your exhale deliberately. Yes, this is so good. Good. Now let's inspect our bodies a little bit and bring awareness to what we may be feeling in our body right now. Maybe just do a little wiggle up and down your body to really check in with yourself and see if you're holding tension or gripping your muscles in a particular area. And again, I truly hope that you are doing this body wiggle out in public somewhere. What are you finding and bringing to your awareness as you're kind of doing this little body wiggle scan? I'd love for you now to just take a few more deep breaths. And this time, as you inhale, imagine bringing that oxygen into any parts of the body that are feeling a little creaky or pinched or tense. Then use that deliberate exhale to release all the tension from that area and just allow it to be gooey and relaxed. So a few nice breaths at your own pace here, just bringing that oxygen into those spaces in the body and then allowing that nice ease to take over that space instead. Yes. A couple more at your own pace. And really enjoy it. Maybe one more. Good. Yes. Beautiful. And wiggle one more time. But this time just wiggle for fun. We're just wiggling because it's fun. Okay, and final question of the day. My friend, please, for the love of God, or the love of source, or universe, or higher self, or intuition, for the love, please, please tell me what tea you're sipping while you're listening to this episode. I don't think you understand how much I truly enjoy knowing that. I ask you almost every week, and I can see my analytics, how many thousands of you are listening to these episodes, yet so few of you are telling me what tea you're sipping. And I want to know, please tell me. I'm just going to keep asking until you tell me. So today I am drinking a boring echinacea tea for my immune system. And I have an adorable little demi-tasse cup, a lovely little espresso cup, one of the tiny little ones. And I'm sipping a little espresso in that to correspond well with today's topic. This demi-tasse is something that I painted at one of those little paint your own ceramics places. And I painted it with the word hope on it, which just always seems apt. Before we dive into today's topic, I wanted to let you know that my dear friend Blake File, who I talked to you about in episode 5, The Magic of Rain, the friend Blake File that has an incredible multi-award winning sonic podcast called Abandoned, the All-American Ruins podcast, the friend who has the most angelic singing voice in the entire world, the friend who has been my friend since we were in high school together, that friend, that Blake File. Well, he also has a very fun weekly radio show in New York called The File. Get it? Blake File. The File. Blake File. Get it? Clever, right? I didn't make it up. It's his show. He did. It's good, right? File. Anyways, a couple of weeks ago, he invited me to be the guest on his live show, and it was an absolutely wonderful time together. So if you're interested in hearing that interview that he did with me on his show, I put the link in the show notes below for you. And Blake, I know you're listening, so thank you again so much for having me on your delightful show and sharing me with your audience. I felt super honored to be able to do that with you. Truly, it was such an amazing and wonderful and joyful experience. So thank you. So today's episode is The Magic of Le Goûter, and this will be a Le Goûter sized episode, which you will understand after you listen to the episode. So for those of you who are not French or who don't speak French, what is Le Goûter and what makes it so special and magical? That's such a great question. I'm glad you asked. Okay, well, in French, the word goûter means to taste. And yes, you guessed it, we're talking about food again. Le Goûter is a food break that is taken at about 4 p.m. each day in France. It is not as large as a meal, but also it is absolutely not constituted as a snack. Do not use the word snack in France, as snacking is seen as a very unhealthy behavior there. And they even have warnings at the bottom of their food and beverage ads on TV, specifically warning you not to eat too much greasy food or sweet food and to refrain from snacking. And now this is the point in the episode where I would need to put in some sort of disclaimer voice, letting you know that the ideas shared in this podcast don't necessarily reflect the views of Daily Magic, its creator, host, and producer, Shaina Wexler. Most of you probably know that I had the amazing dream come true of living in Paris on and off for a couple of years, and you certainly know by now that I consider myself to be a strong and committed francophile, or francophile, as you non-francophiles say. But one of the things I will never get on board with is their mindset around the horrors of snacking. I grew up as a competitive gymnast, and at the time I was taught that it was healthiest to eat many small meals / snacks throughout the day as opposed to large meals. And guess what? I love eating. That's not a surprise to you. I love the act of eating, so I'm going to keep on mindfully snacking even if I'm not going to the Olympics as a gymnast, okay? Okay, now that that's cleared up, the aspect that I absolutely can and do support wholeheartedly about the French mindset around snacking is that the French feel very strongly against the idea of fast-paced, mindless snacking, as well as snacking on the go. For the French, all meals and beverage times are special moments of the day meant to be observed and appreciated. They are moments that are meant to be slow and deliberate, time to enjoy the beauty of life, food, and togetherness. Many French find it to be shocking that in American culture, we order fast food and then eat it in transit as we go from place to place. The horror. Quelle horreur. One of my French friends told me that they actually tend to give the side eye to people who go to Starbucks and bring their coffee to sip on the metro during their commute. For them, coffee should be enjoyed at leisure and with the time to truly appreciate it. And this applies even in the work and business world as well. There are many times throughout the workday to take a little break and sip an espresso. So, oh, no, my friends, le goûter is absolutely not a snack. For the French, le goûter is a ritual. This food-based, non-meal, non-snack ritual is conducted, as I mentioned, usually between 4 and 5 p.m., which is after school for children and right before the final stretch of the workday for adults. Le goûter is a lovely, deliberate moment in between lunch and dinner time to really help get us through that last stretch of the day before dinner time. Le goûter generally consists of baguette and some dark chocolate, or a pain au chocolat, or a few biscuits, or some yogurt and fruit. And I found out the hard way that le goûter is traditionally a moment for a sweet treat. It is a moment for something sweet, not savory. Found this out the hard way. When I lived in Paris for the second time, my friend Amanda let me live with her in her absolutely gorgeous apartment in the 16th arrondissement, an opportunity that I will always be so grateful for. So thank you so much, Amanda. Thank you infinitely for affording me that wonderful opportunity in my life. So since that apartment was quite spacious, I decided to host my first goûter for a couple of friends. And wanting to do the most, I beautifully plated pain au chocolat from the boulangerie down the street. I set out pieces of many types of chocolate bars. I sliced baguette, 3 kinds of cheese. I set out olives and cornichons, which an American friend of mine calls micro pickles. And I uncorked a bottle of wine. I was set and ready to demonstrate how unbelievably French I was. And when my first French friend arrived for my debut goûter, she looked at my glorious spread and immediately said, "I thought this was a goûter." She had a very disapproving look on her face as well. Goûter attempt number 1 failed. I learned that I had unfortunately offered up some foods there that were savory in nature and not sweet, as a goûter should be. And also that I had accidentally stepped into aperitif territory with some of my offerings, and it was much too early in the day to be an aperitif, so but that's a story for another time. What I should have done, had I known better, would have been to serve Kinoko Functional's vegan chocolate. Not only would it have fully hit the mark for a delicious and beneficial sweet treat, but also the lion's mane and cordyceps in it would have been perfect to give a boost of clarity and focus as we prep to finish off the final push of our work days at that goûter hour. Kinoko Functionals is a queer-owned and operated company that has been creating functional chocolates and candies for 3 years now. All of their mushrooms are sourced from a farm in Hawaii, and every ingredient is chosen with the utmost care. They use premium couverture chocolate, and this is the perfect episode to pronounce that the proper French way. Couverture chocolate is a premium chocolate that contains much more cocoa butter than regular chocolate, and that extra cocoa butter creates that really silky, smooth, melt in your mouth texture. Try some out for your new afternoon goûter ritual by clicking the link in the show notes below. Also, usually with un goûter, you also have a tea or a coffee or a glass of juice. And if at this point you're thinking, wait a second, this is sounding a lot like tea time, but you're using French words, you aren't wrong, okay? You caught me. I just wanted to basically do another tea time episode, okay? But I'm going to keep on going as though it's a totally different and brand new concept, okay? Okay. So much like tea time, the real magic of Le Goûter is that it is a conscious and deliberate moment to slow the pace of life. Create a beautiful little pause. Plate something in a lovely way for yourself and appreciate the sweetness of life. Un goûter can be shared with others, but often, due to where it lands during the workday, it's a time that you set aside for yourself. I find it to be very powerful that for adults, it lands at a time of day where we could all really use a pick-me-up, but usually choose to just push ourselves and power through instead. What a magical thing it is to prioritize our own well-being, blood sugar level, and mental health by creating mindful moments throughout our day to consistently choose and practice self-nurturing rituals. The ritual of Le Goûter touches into so many daily magic practices. It includes the magic of rituals, episode 4, the magic of slowing down, episode 3, the magic of consistency, episode 11, the magic of rest, episode 12, the magic of plating and presentation, episode 16, and yes, even the magic of tea time, episode 1. Yes, okay, I recognize. In just this one daily ritual, you are tapping into an absolute wealth of magical practices and daily reinforcing to yourself that you are worthy of being taken care of, that you are deserving of being prioritized, and how you feel matters. When we take care of ourselves consistently in these types of ways, we are creating the conditions to experience the magic of life. What would we see, ponder, and be inspired by when we slow down enough to watch the world go by for 20 minutes a day while savoring a piece of dark chocolate and sipping an espresso? If Le Goûter sounds like a restful, peaceful, and cozy time, it is. And if you want more restful, peaceful, cozy times in your life, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Shaina Wexler. It's a wholesome, uplifting space where we sip tea, of course, obviously, yes. We connect authentically and use magic to empower you to create the joyful, inspired, magic-filled life of your dreams. And as some of you know, I have recently also launched a one-on-one, holistic, spirit, mind, body, and emotions-based coaching course called Reignite Inspiration for anyone who's feeling blocked or burned out. Whether you're feeling blocked in your creative work or just having difficulty connecting to the joy of life around you, this coaching is designed and fully customized for you. This coaching with me will dissolve your inspirational blocks and teach you your personalized roadmap for connecting in with your source of inspirational flow. And if you are interested in learning more, I would absolutely adore connecting with you. So go ahead and book a cozy discovery call with me by either clicking the link in the show notes below or just leaving a heart in the comments. Just drop a heart and I will send you a link. I am so eager to empower you to reignite your inspiration. Remember at the top of the episode, I told you that goûter means to taste? It doesn't mean to eat or, God forbid, to snack. It means to taste. When was the last time you brought intention and priority to really taste? My friend, you are deserving of being present in this beautiful life. You are worthy of taking time to nurture and care for yourself. You deserve to rest and make space for the beauty, inspiration, and joy of life to find you. You are worthy of truly tasting the sweetness of life. And through this week, my wish for you is that you would be blessed, be light, and be the magic.